Wally Johnson, Coach Greg Carvel, St. Hockey Coaches Show. Coach, tremendous weekend of hockey last weekend at Appleton.
Yeah, we really needed that. We needed the points in the league, but maybe more importantly, we needed to get our confidence back after playing pretty well for a number of games to get rewarded. And the Cornell game was, you need games like that to catapult your season, and that was a big comeback, a come from behind victory. But it's not like we stole the game. I thought we played very well, especially in the third period, and ultimately I thought we got what we deserved.
Really hard to dominate a third period like you did against a team like Cornell, which has the big guys with the big reach. But a great goal by Gavin Bayreuther to tie it up, and then overtime didn't last long.
No, I had hardly. I think I was still trying to figure out how I was going to play my lines, and before you knew it, we had the scoring chance. And their goaltender is outstanding in Cornell. He made probably 5 or 6 huge glove saves on us, and then Joey actually beat him over the glove. I was screaming on the bench to the guys to shoot blocker side, and of course they scored both goals over the glove. Joey's been outstanding. That line's been really good. I think Tommy Thompson's play has really come along in the second half. He's a big, fast, strong kid, and we've had him on the wall and in the middle, and losing Dahl, we needed to move back in the middle. And that line with Sullivan and Horn has been really good and very consistent. And Tommy's game has come and challenged Christian Horn, and his game has come, but ultimately I think Joey Sullivan has been probably our best player this year, and he's quietly become the leading scorer on our team. He might be tied with Gavin, but I had a few people say to me on Sunday as I was walking around town, and not too surprising that Joe Sullivan was the one who scored the winner.
Friday night game against Colgate. Colgate put a lot of shots on net. They have a really high-end offensive team, but a great job by Kyle Hayton, and of course he was the ECAC goalie of the week for his efforts.
Yeah, it's when you go through a stretch where you're not winning, you kind of get below the surface and try to figure out some reasons why, and one of the reasons is we felt Kyle, as good as he is, we felt he could give us a little more, and so I challenged him. I said you need to keep the other team to 2 goals or less. We'll score 3 if you can keep them to 2, and I really thought, as good as he is, I thought he brought his game to another level. He's the kind of kid that likes to be challenged, and I knew challenging him I would get the response that we needed, and he was outstanding. He made some huge saves. Colgate's a very good offensive team. We felt like we could get 3 goals against them, but the harder part was going to be limiting them to 2 goals. Their power play is very good, and we were able to shut them down in the power play, but Kyle made some huge saves in the third period and helped us ice that game.
Speaking of challenges, it doesn't get any easier this weekend. RPI and Union on the road. I think people didn't expect much of RPI early. We saw them here in Appleton. They won in overtime, and they've kind of carried it forth from there.
RPI is probably like Quinnipiac, two best teams in our league that knows what their identity is, and they stick to it, and they don't stray from it. And obviously they have a very, very good goaltender. They're a very defensive-minded team, but they play a very hard style, and they work and work and work, and I think they're pretty opportunistic offensively. But we'll go into RPI. I think it's the good timing to come off playing Cornell, where you knew the score was going to be 2-1. You just know that. Our game down there, Cornell was 2-1, and we win 2-1 here. So we've already talked this week about going into RPI with that same mindset, that chances aren't going to come as quickly as they did against Colgate, and Union will be very similar to Colgate, a more speed, skill team. So I think we've struggled at times against teams that are good defensively. We want to create a lot of offense, and some nights we lose our patience. And against Cornell, I thought our guys were outstanding, where we kept stuck to our game plan. We knew we weren't going to get a lot of chances. And then in the third period against Cornell, I thought our speed really took over against their size.
Great. Thanks, and we'll be back next week.